For the rolling recorders and reporters and for the SpeakTV. And we're here now to speak with Terri. Terri, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and what club you're with?
Oh, that's easy. Terri Ballenger, Sentry Toastmasters. I joined in 1990. I've only been there, 20 years? And I told Dick Hawley, who got me into it, that when it gets easy, I'm quitting. It's not that it's not gotten easy, but I'm still gaining from it. Constantly.
Wow, Terri, 20 years as a Toastmaster?
Yes.
That's a long time, so you must be pretty high up there on the level now as far as the different awards or different credentials that you have.
No, just advanced Toastmaster and competent leader. I've been so busy doing other things that it's what's nice about Toastmasters, they don't force you. It took me 2 years to get my first 10 speeches in, but that's okay because it fit into my life that way.
Yeah, so you say there's a little pace that you get into. Sometimes it's a slow pace, sometimes it's a fast pace, but when you want to sprint, you can, and when you want to slow down, you can as well.
That's what I like about the program. It's entirely flexible.
Good. Well,
You balance it.
Terri, we've heard quite a bit about some of the other roles that you've had, particularly in this convention, and from what I've been hearing, you had an awful lot to do with putting this one on. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about some of the roles that you had, and then some that were challenging too.
Oh boy, this is almost like table topics, extemporaneous. It started out, Roberta B. and I were co-chairs. Thought, how hard can that be? You know, we've got each other to balance, to share the load. And Roberta had an issue that she could not continue, so I jumped in there full steam, which kept me out of trouble, running a lot, not breathing much, but it's mainly organizing, pulling all the pieces together, keeping track of who's what, where, how, when, and delegating. That's the whole thing. I had a great team. Don Broderick is registration chair. Brian Seakosh, Deborah Ginsburg, our new president. Now, she's only been around 1 year, and she's a president of the club. She's one of those that are sprinting. I'm more of the nice, slow pace. But, yeah, it's just between the district team and everybody else. You can do a convention. They've got a little help guide. You know, you kind of put your own flavor on it. I'm an organizing fiend. I've been running our Sentry Speechcraft twice a year for the last 15 years, and I've kind of redone the whole thing. I'm a little persnickety about that. I like details, so it worked out well. It fit into my lifestyle, and I love solving problems. That's what the end is. Now to this weekend, all of a sudden things are hitting right and left, and it just gives me a challenge. I love it. I really do. I thrive on that.
You were certainly throwing a lot of names around there, Terri, so it must be that you either rely on this team that you put together, or maybe you're part of a team that others have put together, but it sounds like it's really a cooperative experience.
It is. No man or woman is an island. Without everybody, there's no way one person could do this. I mean, my husband keeps saying, will you breathe once in a while? So the other people help me breathe.
Mm-hmm. This also probably qualifies you for a leadership position. I know that sometimes when you do something and take on a project of this magnitude, that really does qualify you for maybe stepping up into another level.
No, right now I'm going to focus on the club. I am doing my HGL, but that is just something that I will do when I go to my advanced leader. I will be working on that. I expect to do it this year because it's going to help me take that extra step. But at this time, it doesn't fit in my life to be a district officer. I know I would love the challenge, and perhaps when I get retired in a year or two, it'd be another challenge to step, another mountain to climb.
Well, you're still pretty young, so you have a number of years before you retire, I'm sure. Terri, I'm going to throw another question at you, and this is going to take us away from the convention a little bit, but since we're in Stevens Point, I would like to ask you, because this is the first time I've actually been to this fine city of Stevens Point, what are some of the different things that are available if you were coming here like I am to see maybe a few points of interest, or maybe take in some scenery around the area? What would you point out as some of the major attractions of this city?
I'm tired. It's been a long weekend. I'm initially from Milwaukee. We moved up here in 1983, and when I go back to visit family, I just cringe. There's too many people. Up here you have the slow pace, you have the beautiful scenery, we live on the river, it's just idyllic. We have the Point Brewery, like they said, the Green Circle Trail for walking, for riding bikes. Oh, it's just a nice town to come and enjoy. And you notice how friendly they are here? Big difference from the big city.
I have, and you know, it's funny you mentioned coming from Milwaukee up here and how the pace gets slowed down, and I thought you were making a joke there, because I'm originally from Chicago, and Chicago is really fast-paced, but it's nothing like New York, you know what I mean? So I guess it all depends on where you're at, and it's all relative, I suppose.
If you want to treasure life and treasure your family, it's good to be in a town that's not constantly running you ragged. So-
This is not too far from the Rapids, Wisconsin Rapids, is that right?
Correct.
And so it's just a short drive there, and I'm sure there's a lot of good fishing there, and maybe some, they talk about being the city of fine waters. What is that?
I think that's a play on the point of beer.
Oh, okay. I didn't know, I was going to
Stevens
ask him,
Point.
what are you talking about? But maybe that's not appropriate.
I think so, but there's also the Wisconsin River here. There's all the little lakes in the area. Wausau's just up the road. I mean, it's just nice northern Wisconsin. All the people from Illinois are constantly coming up to take advantage of what we have to offer.
Well, those people from Illinois, I mean, I actually live in Milwaukee now, so I
You
can-
learned your lesson.
Yes, I've moved from being a Flatlander to a Wisconsinite and a cheesehead. So, thank you very much, Terry, for taking your
Okay.
time out, and good luck with this convention. You're doing a great job.
I'm going to go home.